but it is quite a challenge to say the least.
Anyways, they're off to the races here. Both players doing the standard 6-3 sprint gambit, trying to maximize those zone lines.
I mean, would you call it a gambit at this point? I feel like it's almost optimal. Well, not almost optimal. Like it basically is.
Some people still do openers. I'd call it a gambit just because I don't know. Gambit's a funny word.
Good old
I don't have a real reason for calling it a gambit. It's just something that's in my vernacular.
Look at the ulti. Manages to find some with IRS. 59 and 56 from both Uya and Wumbotize. In fantastic fashion.
Yeah, but Uyeshota's gonna take the upper hand here.
And yeah, look at that. Uyeshota, beautiful 7-2 stack. Oh, I think Uyeshota tried to tank some garbage. Unfortunately, mistimed it, but made sure to get it on the run back. And Uyeshota going to be the first person to zone for Phase 2. Already just dangerously close to Phase 3, but deciding to zone on that Phase 2 timer. And Wumbo also going to follow suit, enters the zone. Right now, the line balance is a little bit more towards Uyeshota has to do about 10 more lines. We have the 62 Perfectress, and I think that...
Oh, and look at that!
And the 54 ulti, Wumbo takes a couple lines of garbage, and we are back to neutral.
Yep, just about. But now we're in Phase 3, which means, well, you know what it means.
You don't know what it means now, you will soon enough.
If you don't know what it means, here's a visual demonstration.
Wumbo's stuck in the down stack. A lot of cheese to have to dig through. Uyeshota's already...
Yeah, things are looking a little scary here for Wumbo.
I definitely feel like the ticket for Uyeshota right now is just going to keep up the efficiency, and with how strong they've been at clearing through such dangerous garbage, we're probably going to be seeing a pretty strong zone out of Uyeshota. Again, look at this. Like, all this garbage... 46, most of that going over to Wumbo immediately, and there is not enough time to get that much garbage on the board.
Yeah, and Wumbo's just going to be completely overwhelmed there. Look at that score difference, over 55,000.
Again, the efficiency from Uyeshota, like, it is not something to be taken lightly. Yeah, even with the speed as well, because like Uyeshota's typically not like a terribly fast like TEC player or just like general, you know, guideline guru in general, but the ability to just play consistently within the speeds that they do. I mean, the counterplay options are very limited, and potentially, if we don't see it today, we'll probably see a little bit of it tomorrow with OSW and Jaden. But a lot of players have to fight really hard to secure any sort of advantage state against Uyeshota. And right now we've got 19 lines out of Wumbo, going to be just under 50, and a 67 ulti. Look at that damage going into Wumbo's Q.
Oh yeah, and Wumbo just doesn't have the room to deal with it.
Again, as we mentioned before, the efficiency is going to be Uyeshota's main ticket. You either have to find a way to play even, you know, surpass the Uyeshota levels of efficiency, which many cannot. But the only other way to kind of outpace it is to outspeed Uyeshota. And again, just like efficiency, there's not a lot of people that can really have the ability to do that.
Ooh, look at that. Oh, that's some rough misdropping there. Whoa. All the way that high up, you don't want to be doing that.
Yeah, gonna force a defensive zone out of Wumbo, but definitely was the better situation to do it, because the longer you wait and try to like play a better zone, usually the worse it ends up. And honestly, a really good defensive zone. Wumbo's still getting about 40-ish lines out of it. Setting up the kite in.
What's Uyeshota gonna do for this zone? Send 55 attack?
Oh.
Yeah, Wumbo's not really in a state to accept that kind of garbage. It's gonna have to do at least a little bit of down stacking.
Was like almost able to, but didn't want to risk it. And honestly, being down 2-0, I understand that decision making. Little S drop from Wumbo.
Now, Wumbo having a few misdrops here. I think trying to speed up a little bit and suffering a bit of a recoil.
And you can see, like, this is also another dangerous part. Well, not only now is it phase 3, but when you get stuck playing defense in phase 2, because you risk kind of like half countering a lot of garbage, you almost end up making it more cheesy for your board. Oh, Wumbo almost able to get the, like, 17 or 18 lines in time.
Oh, but looks like...
Okay, here we go. Uya sends about 38 over to Wumbo's board. Wumbo needs to counter probably 45 lines in total, given that Uyeshota is going to keep this pressure going while the 4-wide is going.
I mean, Wumbo is... That is basically his signature move, doing the 4-wide. So he's able to get through all of that, but there is a huge one coming that he just nullifies. Oh my goodness.
Able to find like that 7 or 8 combo in the middle of zone, and that does a lot of extra damage, which was desperately needed.
Yeah. Wumbo dealing with that very, very nicely.
Oh, but now we're back to... Oh, do we have some down stacks? We get the T-spin single on combo, but Uyeshota gonna pop an offensive 3-quarter zone. Sees the opportunity. Oh, yeah, and that's a 20-plus line difference between zone attacks.
And yeah, Wumbo just does not... Wumbo doesn't have zone charge. Really valiant effort there, but look at Uyeshota's APM matching Wumbo's speed. That means every single piece that Wumbo is placing, Uyeshota is sending a line. That is...
Well, hope the efficiency is up to par. Again, it's like the measures of counterplay when you know we see gameplay like Uyeshota and everything. Like this is, I don't want to say like there's not much higher you can go, because like there is obviously like we've seen some insanely crazy plays from this game, but it is. Well, let's just say it's a
down stacking. This is a bit of an awkward thing to downstack. 34 and 15. Uyeshota's gonna get 35 and 12.
Yeah, both players had a kind of like a premature eyepiece in queue that prevented them from getting as much garbage out of those zones. But since it affected both of them pretty evenly, it's not going to be too bad in the long term. Uyeshota actually getting pushed up quite a reasonable amount. Able to still stack pretty well on the side. And goes into zone with that full zone meter, and you can see Wumbo in this case being a little bit more reactionary. And getting that count to 4. Almost. Wumbo having to break the efficiency a little bit sooner. Uyeshota, beautiful setup for the 26 and the 57 ulti with the
all clear.
Unfortunately, not going to be able to get any all-clear loops out of it, but still a fantastic spot to be in. No garbage left on the board, and those extra damages from the all-clear attack are going to be much appreciated. You can see Uyeshota forced on the defensive end. Going to have to be really careful with this down stack. And a beautiful C-spin setup from Wumbo to keep the efficiency up. We mentioned before, like, the efficiency is going to have to be on point from Wumbotize in order to secure a victory over Uyeshota. 23-line Dodecatris, the quarter zone from Uyeshota going to fully neutralize. And this work got a lot more difficult for Wumbo. And Uyeshota really trying to put things away, get a 4th win, make it 4 for 4. Really good stuff from Wumbotize. Able to still keep this back-to-back going, accepting so much garbage. Unfortunately, going to have to play a defensive zone as... Oh, and... Oh my goodness! Uyeshota greedy and unfortunately bites the bullets. And Wumbo's on the board.
Yeah, we're not going to be seeing consecutive sweeps here. That's going to just be Wumbo's.
Alright, and so now things have shaken up quite a lot. They all clear into phase 3, working wonders on Wumbotize's board. And again, both of them back to the tried and true 6-3 for phase 1. Garbage shifting a little bit on both Uyeshota and Wumbotize's board. I feel like we're almost seeing, like, phase 1.5 out of a lot of these Matrix sets. Unless I've just misremembered how clean Garbage works in this game. And what a zone right there from Uyeshota. Gonna still get the ult with the addition of IRS. And these misdrops from Wumbo are not gonna be great.
Yeah, you don't want to be misdropping that high up.
Oh, this
Wumbo
is...
still has some... Still has a defensive zone at the ready, but that is going to put him at a major disadvantage as Uyeshota... I don't know. I think Uyeshota was trying to set something up there, but couldn't quite do it.
Yeah, again, it's like, it looks like Wumbo is in the clear and, you know, potentially worst case scenario just has a little bit worse of board state. But keep in mind, Uyeshota has that full zone meter and is able to, with the S misdrop!
Oh yeah, but I mean, Wumbo has a few misdrops of his own, so, like, it is a bit of a balancing act. Wumbo has to get through those mishaps on his own board before he can, you know, get to his real ammunition for retaliation.
Alright, and a little bit of that down stack there from Wumbo, able to still keep things pretty clean.
Ooh, another S misdrop from... Oh, but that's a good T-spin find.
I love that fix from Uyeshota. Fantastic. Still keeping the back-to-back.
Ooh, and Wumbo...
Afterwards. And the forecast spin double.
Wumbo's being pushed against the ropes right now. Things are looking real dire for him. Especially... Ooh, wait.
The double misdrop from Uyeshota. Really?
Yeah, this is not going to be as substantial of a zone as he thought it was.
Oh my goodness, and Wumbo gets an extra line on the 4 combo, so probably going to be a good 3 to 4 lines just on that one alone. Let's see what the extra credit's going to do with this down stack. Almost getting to the...
Up to 15 lines. 36 attack, that is a pretty substantial Q that Uyeshota has to deal with, but look at this combo down stack, entering his zone with that.
Oh, and again, the master of the down stack, Uyeshota, 24 on that Dodecatris.
Oh, look at Wumbo here, using a 4-wide, his sort of signature move right now.
And we know just how powerful the 4-wide can be in phase 3, but...
And look at that, neutralized all the incoming attack from Uyeshota. Uyeshota has some ammunition at the ready, though. Gonna be able to upstack, has the upstack.
Oh.
Gonna start downstacking with this zone.
That's a really odd choice for Uyeshota to play that a little bit more defensively. Had a really strong zone. But you do at least... Oh no, snags in the center from Wumbotize.
Ooh. You always hate seeing the S misdrop in the middle of the board.
The dig options are dwindling right now.
However, there are still options.
Oh, just barely
getting enough to get another zone, but is that going to be enough to stay in the game? The answer is no.
And a valiant 3.5 minutes, but unfortunately, as the smoke clears, Uyeshota able to work around the phase 3 play so well. And we're on match point.
Yeah. The wind is blowing in Uyeshota's favor here. Wumbo has quite a bit of an ordeal to get through, but it is entirely possible. We have seen Wumbo get real close at times, even taking 1 point away.
Oh, no!
But, you know, misdrops happen. Look at them! They were going at the exact same speed, too. Ugh.
Yeah, and
pressure. That's not how you want a match to end. You don't want to end in 20 seconds with a misdrop.